Hey Coconuts, it's Ryan and Ariel here, and today we're going to be talking about what makes a perfect email when submitting music to curators, labels, whoever you're sending it to. Here are things that are going to help you get a response back. We're going to go over some points that are crucial to an email and what helps it even be opened and then responded to. Because when you're sending an email, there is going to be thousands, if not tens of thousands of emails sitting in people's inboxes, and they just want to get to the point. And so these are ways to help you write an email. So the first thing before anything is please know who you're talking to. Just research the company or label or just individual you're about to contact and make sure you have the right email, the right name, what they do. Make sure you know who you're talking to.
Yeah, you can use you can look them up on Google. Look up the actual person on LinkedIn, see, kind of just get a background, try to figure out who they are, what kind of person they are. You can see where they've worked before. You can see everything about them. The internet's a wonderful place for researching people now. You don't have to guess who you're talking to.
So please, before you even start writing that email, know who you are reaching out to. And once you know who you're reaching out to and you know the name and everything, that's when you're going to start conducting your email. And the first thing you want to do is email them by name, if you have their name or their business name or whatever. Sometimes you can say like, hello, Sony Music A&R team, because sometimes it's just a generic email.
It's a department or something you're contacting.
So if it's a department, just make sure you don't just say, hey guys.
And you also don't want to address the wrong person if you're not really sure if the department head's going to be opening that email. You don't want to...
and that kind of goes back to make sure you know who you're emailing. If it just says we're a department team, email our department team or email our, whatever team. Just say, hey, X team. And then you're going to go into introducing yourself. We don't need a life story here. Do not be too long. You want to keep it very simple, but definitely personalize the email. So instead of saying, hey guys, check out my track, it's, hey Ariel, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ryan. I'm this artist. I'm from here. I'm, heck, even put your age, where you're from. Cool. And then say, here's my newest tracker. Here's what I would like. And you start conducting your email further.
Yeah, I also like to see at the beginning of an email, and this is just kind of general business etiquette, tell us, like, where did you find my contact information? Like, why do you know me? Say, like, hey, I'm Ariel. I'm a producer from Canada, and I found your blog on my friend's website.
Wherever you find it.
So I'm contacting you through your contact form or whatever, and I just wanted to send my link over. Just try to be genuine, like make it sound like it's personalized, but like we don't need paragraphs about like, oh, I've always wanted to be a producer because this, and then I went to school and I did like, I don't,
I'm deleting it.
No life stories. Because it's too much to read, because we have a lot of emails to get through, and we do want to get back to them personally as well, but we don't have to want to answer like 16 questions and reply and comment on like 5 paragraphs of
your first
stuff.
Contact or first sent email should always be, like we said, simple, personalized, know who you're talking to, get your angle across quickly, and then once you develop a relationship, you can start asking more questions, writing more detailed. But that first time, you don't want to come across as, I have this whole business plan for you. I need you to look over. It needs to just be an elevator pitch. And we'll talk about elevator pitches in a different episode. But just keep it simple, personalized, introduce yourself. And then this brings us to our next point. If you're sending a track or your socials or whatever you're sending, please make sure the links work. Do not send a broken link, because I'm not getting back to you. I'm not going to say, hey, your link broke, I'm leaving. Like, unless your email was so well written that I really like you as a person, but odds are I'm not getting back to you. So if you craft this perfect email, but your link's broken, odds are I'm just moving on. And I have a lot of sympathy for artists, because I know things can happen. You can accidentally copy in a link wrong, but other people who are in a huge department with, millions and millions of tracks coming a year, they're not going to care.
And also on the link subject and the keeping it simple, you choose the best track that you possibly have, or maybe 2 tracks if you can't decide and you don't know which one would do better. Send just 2 links. Pick your best work, because if you don't know your best work, that doesn't really reflect well on you. Like, you should know what your best song is.
Yeah, like if someone comes into our email and goes, "Hey, I have a new album out. Check out all the tracks and let me know which ones you like." I 100% am not checking out that album. I don't have time to listen to 10 tracks.
Yeah,
from
that would
one
take
artist.
us an hour.
I'm not doing that. Or if I do feel like listening to an album, I'm only going to listen to about 14 seconds. I know it's a weird number, but I'm only listening to about 20 to 30 seconds of your track.
And then none of your tracks are really going to get a fair chance at being listened to, because we're going to listen to 10 seconds and not the whole thing.
But if you send me 2 tracks, I'm probably going to listen to the whole thing if I like it, and I will pick my favorite one or both of them to share.
And put the one you think is best first, because sometimes I'll listen to the first one and I'll really not like it, and I won't bother clicking the second one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, if it's really bad,
I don't have time.
I'm not going to check it.
Remember, this is your pitch. This is your saying, "Hey, this is my stuff. Check it out." And we want to. That's what we do for a living. I want to listen to music, but just please have your links there, and don't send too many, because I'm just ignoring you. If I see more than 2 links, I'm done. And that brings me to another point. Don't upload an MP3 to the email. Don't upload a WAV file. If it's not a streaming link that someone can just click and play, trust me, I'm not downloading anything that is sent unsolicited to my email.
Yeah, I don't know what computer that came from. I don't know what bugs or trojans your computer has that you might not even, you don't necessarily mean to send us something, but it could be in there. Like, I have a PC, I'm going to get bugs. I'm not downloading anything.
Yeah, and I'm not taking the time to download
and
music.
It fills up your computer as well. I don't want to store hundreds of people's music a day.
Do you want people to have access to your MP3? Like, you just gave us your work. So technically, there's horror stories of people that get an MP3 and they release it as their own stuff. And you have you can't fight that. Like, it's very hard. You're going to make your life hell. And now if a demo, this goes back to know who you're talking to and know what they want. If someone says, "Please upload your file here," then upload your file there. Just research who you're sending it to. But for us personally, don't ever send an MP3 or any PDF or anything unless I ask for it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of artists think, "Oh, here's my press release." I don't care about your press release as of right now. I don't know who you are. So don't send me a press release, get it out now, and here's a 80-page press release. Like, I'll talk about press releases later, but don't do that.
Yeah. And also, when you're sending an email, it might not be a demo email. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just a business email. Maybe you want to be featured on a blog or have an article written about you. But tell us what you want.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things with our business. Like, we have playlists. We have our blog. We have we have our Downloadgate platform. We have our advertising platform. We do lots of things. So when somebody says, "I'm looking to get my track out there, check it out," what do you want? Do you want to learn how to advertise and grow your following? Do you want to learn how to make a gate with your track? Do you want to be on our blog? Do you want to be on our, it's not up to us to decide, "Oh, I like this track, here's what I'm going to do for you." I'm not going to really offer options. I want to know what you want to be on. Are you a fan of my blog? Okay.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to, some artists will say, "Hey, look, I have this track. I'd like you guys to repost it, or I'd like it to be added to your Spotify." And I'll listen to it because they've told me what they want. They have a good email. I listen to it and go, "You know what? I think this will be better suited for my blog." That's the time I will decide, "You know what? You've done everything. You've told me what you want, but hey, it's going to benefit you better to go over here."
Yeah, and that's fine, as long as you're not just sending a link and saying "check it out" because I'm like, "Oh, I checked it out."
Yeah, if someone says, "Hey, can you share this track?" No, because you haven't told me where you want it, share what you don't even know what we do. And so please have an angle. Whatever your angle is, just be forward and say, "This is what I'm looking for. Can you help me out?" Don't be so forward that it comes across as rude. Just ask, "Hey, is this the right place?" If you have questions, maybe ask 1 or 2 questions. That's okay. But you just keep it simple. And like everything in life, every piece of writing, please have your spelling and grammar checked and perfect.
And we get a lot of people like from all over the world writing us, and I understand if it's not your native language. A lot of our support emails, that's fine. Just let us know, like, oh, like my English isn't the best, so I know that you're not just misspelling things.
And sometimes we can just tell if it's someone that's a lazy writer to someone who, speaks German.
Yeah.
Or something. It's pretty obvious in the way they write, and that's fine. Don't get nervous because you speak a different language. I understand, like, that's fine.
But I do have to say, if you're doing international business with other countries and it's someone really important, like say you're going for a label or a manager and your English is really bad where people struggle to understand what you're trying to get across, like we want to know what you want, and I'm like genuinely trying to understand what you're writing, and I'll read it over like 10 times trying to figure it out. If you have a friend, like there's a lot of people we have a lot of contacts on Facebook now. A lot of people maybe speak English a little better. There's a lot of translators. There's translating software out there which isn't that great. Like a lot of our people, you can tell they're using Google Translate and it's almost right, but some of the languages don't translate well. If you can get a human to look it over for you, if it's a really important email, it's worth your time. There's places you can actually pay, like on Fiverr or somewhere, to just go over your translation, because if it's a really important email, you want to make sure that they can understand you.
Yeah, for your typical curator, like if you're sending to us, I don't need you.
That's fine. Yeah,
I don't need you to pay someone. You just, if I can decipher it, because I will, I'll sit there and try to decipher, and sometimes it's just good. But make sure, the point here is make sure your grammar and spelling is right. If someone spells you with literally just a U, I'm done. If you say bro, I'm probably not listening to your music. Just stay away from lingo and this stuff, because if someone says hey bro, instantly delete it. Hey bro, or hey you, or hey guys, I'm done. I don't know who you are. I'm not your bro yet. Yeah. So just keep that in mind when you're emailing someone really important, or anyone for that matter. Just
take your time, because if I can tell that you didn't take the time to go over your email one more time and make sure that I could understand it and it was legible and the spelling was right, and actually like you just said, like I don't want to see the letter U. Mm-hmm. I want to see YOU, because you can take a couple more strokes of a keyboard if I'm having to read your thing and check out your track. Like, put the time in to actually, like, because I just feel like you don't care about me. If you're not going to write out a whole word, you're just trying to, like, quickly send off an email. You don't really care if I read it or not, so I'm just going to delete it, honestly.
Yeah. And these are all things you need to do inside an email, but another very important thing is your subject line when writing an email. If it's all capitalized or exclamation points and, check out this track now, or all this stuff, I'm deleting it. I would rather see you say, like, hey, what's up, or nice to meet you, or is a business inquiry, or something a little more professional that I'm interested in clicking. Because trust me, when I wake up in the morning and I have 200 demos sitting there, and my first thing I do is just scan through the subject line. I go, who's it from? I look at the subject line, and if it's in capitals or press release now and all this stuff, instantly delete it. I'm not even opening it. I'm just not opening it. And then if you get me to click the email, which I probably, honestly guys, out of 200 emails, I might open maybe 30, because that's how many subject lines I just already don't like. So if you say something a little more professional, like, hey, business inquiry, ooh, that got my attention.
Yeah, but don't lie to us. If it's a demo submission and you say business inquiry, personally, maybe you open it, but personally I would open it, say this is a demo, and I would delete it.
Yeah, there is a difference, and we'll get talking about that later, about business inquiries and what things mean in the business world before you get confused. But I would rather you just do a subject line that says demo submission or Spotify submission. Those are fine, because you tell me what it is. It's not chaos. It's just a nice little, here's what I want.
Maybe like a little label, like saying like Tropical House demo submission or something like that. Like something that just says what it is, maybe, so I can. Yeah. We know it goes with our playlist already, or something.
Yeah. It's your angle again in your subject line. Just tell us straight what you want. Don't try to gimmick me into something, because if you have a clickbait title and I do click it and it's something different inside, I'm done. I'm not clicking your stuff. And it takes a lot of time to write emails. So don't ruin it before it's even opened. And again, everyone's different. I'm just speaking for myself here, what I like for subject lines. But
Yeah, and you can do your own research as well. There's a lot. Like, you can look up on Google as well, like templates for emails and proper business ways to reach out to people and how you should format it. And like, there's examples of a properly formatted email if you haven't ever seen one before. But basically, we kind of went over everything that you possibly need to know. We introduce yourself, know who you're talking to, keep it really simple, but make sure it's personal, no copy and pasted emails and mass emailing and that kind of thing. Make sure everything's working. Let us know what you want, and just like make sure I can understand what you're saying. Like, take the time to make sure it looks good and everything's spelt right.
Yeah, and quickly, I'm not going to go into detail about this stuff, but the things that you do not want to do, that you ultimately need to stay away from, is mass emailing. Don't CC people or BCC people. I know what you're doing. I see all of that. You think you're being clever by hiding, and then you just say, hey guys, and it's been sent to 50 to 100 other people. That's not, first of all, that's illegal. You can't spam people like that. And so mass emailing is a big no-no, unless you have an email list that they've authorized you to do that. Don't copy and paste your emails and change one word. I know, because it comes up as highlighted and stuff on our program where I know what's copied and pasted, and all you've done is change it because the fonts are different, but everything else is the same. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I also hate those emails that are like PR emails that have the like poster in the middle of like our release and with their links in it and stuff, and then at the top there's a little piece of text that just goes, "Hey guys," or "Hey Ariel." Coconut. Actually, sometimes they do say "Hey Ariel" or "Hey Ryan," but then it's a poster, and I know you didn't write that for me, and you sent it to like 300 other blogs. I know you're just trying to speed up your workflow, and you got a lot of tracks you manage, and you just really want to get it out, but I just don't really want to take the time, because I'm taking time to post your track.
Yeah, I want to be respected just as you guys want to be respected. So it's mutual here. Curators of all kinds want you to like them and respect them over email, messenger, whatever. But yeah, as Ariel said, if you have a big poster in the middle, once again, we didn't ask for an EPK. We didn't ask for a press kit. We didn't do anything. We just want you to say, hey, your angle and what we talked about. And then if I want more information, I will ask you for it.
Yeah.
So just keep all this stuff in mind when you're writing an email, and it will help you tremendously going forward.